Welcome, MOVATI. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Sue. This is Hatha Yoga. For the next hour, we'll be working through the hips today and seeing what we can open up. We'll need blocks and straps. Straps can be handy. If you don't have a strap, perhaps a tie or a dishcloth could be handy. And if you don't have any blocks, feel free to bring some pillows or rolled up towels can be useful as well. So when you're ready, just come and join me on the mat, have a seat. If you want to sit up on a block or a pillow to get the hips higher than the knees, feel free to do that. Opens up the hip flexors and the hamstrings and allows us to sit nice and tall. So just come into a nice cross-legged position, find your sit bones, and sit very tall and long, very noble. And let's just close the eyes or just lower your eyelids and just notice your breath. Don't change it, just notice it. Let the shoulders drop down away from the ears as we settle into our practice today, trying not to have any expectations. Every time we come to the mat, there'll be a different experience. So let's just see what unfolds today with our breath. Start to notice the space that you're in. Notice your surroundings. Notice the temperature in your room. And notice the energy that surrounds you. Start to bring your focus inwards. How does your physical body feel? Notice if there's any stiffness or soreness or where the body feels really good today. Bring some awareness to your heart center, Anahata chakra. How do you feel? What is your mood? Bring awareness to your mind. Is your mind present? Or is your mind busy from your thoughts of the day? Let's breathe in through the nose, let the breath travel down in front of the spine and fill the belly, letting the belly rise. And as we exhale, belly comes down, breath travels back up in front of the spine and back out through the nose. Deep abdominal breath. And as the breath starts to get deep into the belly, starting to send a message to the brain to relax and let go. Starting to lower the heart rate, lower the blood pressure. And as we start to breathe deeper into that belly, starting to get rid of any stress or tension that we may be carrying in our muscles. Muscles start to soften, relax. And as we practice today, if you start to notice things externally or your mind starts to wander, use your breath as a touchstone to come back to. Over and over again, bringing you back into the present. Let's start to lengthen our out breath. Let it be twice as long as the in breath. And every time we breathe out, perhaps we can notice a space in our body where we can relax further, like the jaw, the shoulders, the hips, fingers, toes. Place where you may be carrying some tension that you're not even aware of. Your body habitually likes to hold on. Let's do 3 more deep belly breaths, focusing on that exhale and relaxing and letting go. Lift your eyelids or just flutter your eyes open. I'd like to start with some breath work, pranayama, nadi shodhana, or alternate nostril breathing. This is a beautiful breath because it really helps you focus inwards and gets you ready for your practice. Very calming breath, balances the right and left side of the body and the right and left side of the brain. So very, very useful breath to let go. I'd like you to take your right hand, take your middle finger and cross it over the index finger. Take your thumb, place it on the right nostril about a third of the way up. Let the index finger land on the forehead between the eyes. Take a nice deep breath in through the left nostril. Take your baby finger, block both, and then release your thumb and exhale through the right. Inhale. Block both, release your baby finger and exhale through the left. Breathe in. Block both, little suspension of breath here, and then let it go. If you're congested today or if you're pregnant, if you are just having a hard time breathing, just come back to your regular breath. And if any time you feel lightheaded or dizzy, just remove your hand away from your face and just continue with your regular breath. And as we breathe here from one side to the other, can you relax the shoulders a little bit? Maybe soften your gaze and focus where the breath is coming and going. Bringing the breath right down into the belly. Clearing any blockages that we may have so our energy can flow. Giving us a calm mind and a mindset for our practice. Let's do one more round on each side. And once you're done, just let the hands come away from the face and notice how that breath made you feel. Bring your head to the right side, inhale. And as we exhale, let's drop the chin down and roll to the left. Breathe in. Exhale and roll to the right. So just this beautiful circumduction in the neck to just open up those scaling muscles. They tend to be tight. Breathe in. And roll down to the left. Inhale. Exhale to the right. And back to center. Take your right hand to the left side of the head. Spread your fingers. Breathe in. And as we breathe out, just a gentle press to the left shoulder. Relaxing both shoulders down the back. Little encouragement here. Do a little extra stretch without forcing anything. Bring the hand to the back of the head. Inhale. And as we exhale, drop the chin towards the chest, but still keep right ear towards right shoulder. Getting the nice stretch on the diagonal of the neck. And release this time. Left hand to the right side. Spread the fingers. Just a gentle press here. Breathe in. And as we exhale, just a lovely press here now to the left side. Beautiful. Inhale. And as we exhale, chin drops down towards the chest. Hand moves to the back of the neck. And still keep left ear towards left shoulder. Come back to center. Let's bring both hands behind the head. Breathe in. As we exhale, just dropping the chin down towards the chest, lengthening out the back of the neck here. Opening things up. It's a gentle pressure to encourage that nice stretch. And and release. Let's inhale, bring the shoulders up to the ears, little shrugs here. Exhale and let it go. Again, breathe in, lifting those shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, release. 2 more, breathe in and breathe out. 1 more time, getting rid of any tension you may have there. Exhale and let it go. Beautiful. You can stay up on the block or move it, whatever feels good for you. Let's bring our feet together. Buddha Konasana, hands to the toes, and the knees gently flutter up and down in butterfly, finding your sit bones and sitting nice and tall to the crown of the head. So this gentle flutter of the knees up and down, just a little encouragement for those hips to subtly start to open, create some space in that ball and socket joint. So we not only carry physical tension in our hips, but we also carry emotional tension, like fear or an anxiety. Any kind of stress you're carrying can land in your hips. So this gentle encouragement of the fluttering of the knees up and down just starts to wake up that hip joint a little bit. Let's let the feet come out into diamond pose. Keep the knees bent, breathe in. And as we exhale, we're just going to fold over the front line of the body here, stretching the back, opening the hips, and seeing what we can let go of. So I don't want you to force yourself downwards. I want you to just gently let the head and neck and shoulders relax and breathe deep into the belly, ribs, and lower back. That nice 3-dimensional breath. Just seeing what will unfold here, coming to the natural edge and using our breath to see if we can let things go just a little. And perhaps finding a new edge. The breath will encourage the muscles to relax. So that nice deep belly breath is really important here. Inhale, slowly make your way up. And let's let the legs extend out. Hands come behind as we lean back so the wrists are under the shoulders. Lift your pelvic floor, squeeze your butt. If you want a little more support, bend a leg. Let's inhale, squeeze the butt and rise and look up here, open the chest. If you want more, you can lift your right leg up. Slowly let that leg come down. Maybe the left leg can rise. Lifting, opening the front line of the body, letting that foot come down. Lift, 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 squeeze your butt. Exhale, and slowly let your hips come down to the mat. Let's come into wide leg child's pose with a twist. Knees come wide, toes together. Hips can be high or low, depending what the hips will give you today. Take your left hand, reach through to the right side. Shoulder comes down, head comes to the mat. And let the right hand relax beside the head, or it can wrap behind your back. Let's just take a moment here and breathe into this beautiful asana. Opening hips, working the spine with that beautiful spinal twist. And if the hand comes behind the back, or you can reach it up overhead, just starting to open up that shoulder. If shoulder's not feeling great today, you could just let that arm relax beside your head. So lots of options here, depending what your body's feeling today. And know as we practice, if you have any sharp pain in any of your joints when you practice, I'd like you to back off the pose. As a practitioner, you know your body better than anyone else, and I'd like you to listen to that today. Let's come back to those deep belly breaths, down into the belly and lower back. Let's do 3 more breaths here. In this beautiful freeing pose. This is a yin posture. Yin meaning static, cool.
giving your body a chance to disengage. Disengage the muscles. If your arm's behind the back, just place it on the mat and gently bring yourself up. Let's switch to the other side. Take your right hand through to the left side. Shoulder comes down, head to the mat, or if you have a block, you can place your head on a block. Left arm can reach out, relax beside the head, or wrap. Your choice here. And the hips can go wherever your body will allow, high or low, it doesn't matter. As long as you're feeling that beautiful stretch into the inside of the legs and groin, working in through the liver and kidney meridians. Where can we soften just a little more here? Really focus on the breath and think about getting the breath into the belly, ribs, and lower back, that three-dimensional breath. Lots of room to breathe here, so let's just use that space to allow our breath to explore and open up things. 3 more breaths here. If your hand's behind the back, place it back onto the mat and come up onto the hands and knees. I'd like you to take your right foot forward. If you want to use your blocks here, you can. All right, if you need to take some weight off the back knee. If you'd like, you can roll the mat on the left side, double it up. Or if you've got a towel, you can roll it up under that back knee if your knee's a little sore today. I'd like you to come forward here with the hips, so letting the hips get heavy. That front knee stays over the ankle, and front knee and back leg are hip distance apart for some stability. Let's take the left hand to the right thigh and just let that right hand reach back here. Or if that's too much for your shoulder, just let it drop where it will. And let your eye gaze come over your right shoulder, and let's just soften now. Let those hips get heavy. Breathe into the space. Open up those hips. Beautiful. Let's come back to center. Hands come down to the mat and slowly let the hips drop back. Flex your foot and get a nice stretch of the hamstrings here. Again, if you want to come higher, use your blocks. Please feel free to use your blocks at any time to help support you. If you need a little more support today, that's all good. So as we flex our foot here, opening up the hamstrings and calves, draw the belly in to support your back. And let's come forward. Let that right foot come back, and let's switch legs so the left leg comes forward. Feel free to wrap or roll the mat here on the right side, doubling it up for your back knee if you need, or use your blocks here. Otherwise, come on up. Hips get a little heavier. Take your right hand over to the left side. Left hand reaches back, looking over left shoulder. Let's breathe deep into the belly here. This is where we have to see if we can let go just a little. Sometimes it's not easy to let go. So if you feel like you're fighting it, breathe a little deeper. Let's come back to center. Hands come down to the mat and slowly let those hips come back. Flex your foot. And let's get that nice stretch of the hamstring and calf. Folding over the leg. Use your blocks here if you need. And let's come forward. Take your left leg, bring it back. So you're right on the hands and knees. We're going to tuck the toes under, lift the hips high. Spread your fingers, and let's just walk the dog. Right heel comes down, then the left. Just starting to open up the back of the legs. Draw the belly towards the spine to support your back. Push some weight into the fingertips and the palms, energizing those hands and arms. And when you're ready, let both heels draw down and come into a beautiful downward facing dog. Stay with your breath. And let's walk your feet to your hands. Come into a forward fold. When you're ready, slowly start to roll yourself up. Draw the belly in, squeeze your butt. Coming up a little slower than you really want to. And letting your head come up last. Beautiful. Let's come to the top of your mat. We're going to go right into sun salutation. I want you to breathe in and out through every move. And let's see what we can get with our breath here. So let's breathe in, reach tall, lengthen your spine. As we exhale, sit into the heels in Utkatasana, chair pose. Breathe in. And as we exhale, we're going to tip from the hips and let the hands come all the way down into fold. Step or jump your feet back into that high plank position. Inhale, come down halfway. Exhale. Breathe in and open up the heart center and up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right foot steps forward to right hand, left foot turns out. Come on up, and we'll come right into Virabhadrasana 2. Warrior 2. Shoulders draw down the back, reaching out to both walls. Open your toes, really grounding yourself here. That front knee tracks second and third toes, and it's right over the ankle. Your front heel's in line with the arch of the back foot. Now as you're here, can you push a little more into that back foot? Feel the ridge of the back foot in the earth. Let hands float in behind, intertwine your fingers, press the shoulder blades together. Inhale. And as we exhale, we're just going to tip forward here on that diagonal. Let the hands come up over the head, open in the hips. If this isn't good for you today, bring an elbow to a thigh, maybe one hand down for support, or use a block here. Lots of options. Otherwise, as we tip forward, just opening up the shoulders, finding breath, bowing in. Slowly come on up. Straighten that front leg and let the arms reach out. Inhale. As we exhale, reach forward and revolve the arms. You can come high or you can come low. In triangle, Trikonasana. Reaching high. Now if the shoulder feels a little stuck today, just take your arm and let the arm windmill around. That may open up that ball and socket joint. I'd like you to squeeze your inner thighs together. Draw the belly in. Beautiful opening pose. Opening hips, shoulders, heart center. Bend your front knee, come back up. And I'd like you to square your hips off and come into Warrior 1. So reaching up and sinking down. So think about that right hip drawing back, the left hip coming forward, shoulders drawing down the back, sitting in, squaring hips off here. Breathe in, and as you exhale, lift your heel, hands come down and footsteps back, and you're into your high plank position. Come down halfway, Chaturanga Dandasana. Breathe in, baby cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Left foot now comes up to left hand, right foot turns out, come on up, back into your Virabhadrasana 2. Shoulders relaxing down the back, energizing your feet, drawing up earth energy. Let your hands float in behind the back. Inhale. And as you exhale, we tip forward on that diagonal. Again, your option is let the arm come to the block and the knee or to the floor, your choice. Opening up shoulders, just bowing in. Stay with your breath. Come on up. Straighten your front leg. Let the arms reach out. Breathe in. And as we exhale, tip from your hips. Keep your front leg straight and just revolve the arms. You can come high, or if the hips will allow, you can come lower. Think of the lower ribs coming around, so you're revolving a little here. Reaching high. Squeezing those inner thighs. Draw the belly in to support the back. Reaching for the heavens. Stay with your breath here. Bend your knee, let the arm come down. Come on back up. We're going to square the hips off so the hips come forward with the shoulder blades. Reaching up and sinking down into Virabhadrasana 1. Lift your back heel, hands come down, footsteps back into your high plank, forward and down, lower yourself halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Step or jump your feet up to your hands and forward fold. Sit into your heels, hands come up, shoulders down the back. Utkatasana. Breathe in and rise, push to the feet and salute the sun. Exhale, hands to side in Tadasana. We'll do one more round. Let's breathe and go. Inhale up. Exhale, sitting into the heels. Breathe in. Exhale and fold. Step or jump your feet back into your plank, high plank position. Come on down halfway. Inhale, rise and shine. Exhale, down dog. Right foot now springs forward. Left foot turns out. Back up. Virabhadrasana 2. So your focus should be your breath, eye gaze just out in front of you. Let the hands float in behind, intertwine your fingers, breathe in. And as we breathe out, we're going to tip from the hips, come forward. Bowing in on that diagonal. Use your other option with the elbow on the thigh if that feels better for you today. Inhale and rise. Straighten that front leg. Breathe in, reach out. As we exhale, tip from your hips, reach forward. Keep your front leg straight and revolve the arms. You can come high or low here, it doesn't matter. Reaching for the sun. Squeezing inner thigh. Top arm comes down as we square off our hips. Up into Warrior 1. This time right hip draws back, left hip comes forward. Breathe as we dive into this, into that front leg. Feel that quadricep muscle working for you. Breathe in. And as we breathe out, lift your heel, hands come down, foot steps back into your high plank. Coming down halfway. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left foot springs up, right foot turns out, right back up. Hopefully you're starting to warm up, starting to feel the heat, the tapas, right? Effort. Breathe. Maybe we can sink a little deeper here as your body's starting to warm up. Let the hands come in behind, intertwine your fingers, breathe in. And as we exhale, just bowing in here, just tipping from the hips on that diagonal. Opening it all up over the shoulders. Breathe. Inhale and rise. Let's straighten your front leg, arms reach out, breathe in. Exhale, tip from your hip.
And just revolve the arms, high or low, your choice. Reaching for the sun. Breathe deep into your belly, ribs, and lower back. Stay with your breath. Bend your front leg, arm reaches down, come on up. Back toes come forward, square your hips off, and come into warrior one. Lift your back heel, hands come down, foot steps back into your high plank. Forward and down, lower yourself halfway. Take your time here. Inhale, rise and shine. Exhale, down dog. Step or jump your feet up to your hands and fold. Sit into your heels. Let your hands rise. Shoulders drop down the back. Push the feet and rise, reaching tall and lengthen spine. Exhale, hands to side in Tadasana. Beautiful. We're going to continue with balance. And every time we work with balance, we want to stay present. To do that, I want you to focus on the breath and find a spot in front of you where you can find your drishti or your point of concentration. Let's bring our weight into our left leg and let the right foot come across. It can ground today and touch the mat, or it can come up, keep your foot flexed. Opening up the hip here. Inhale, let the hands rise. And as we exhale, we'll just sit deep into the hips here. You can stay here if you want more. Let the hands float downwards. Maybe the fingertips just brush the floor here. Breathe and allow. Beautiful balance with hip opener. Keeping your focus, whether it's down on the floor or out in front of you. Find your drishti or point of concentration. Stay present. And maybe just gently, slowly rise. And all the way up. And release. And let's go to the other side. So weight comes into your right foot, the left foot crosses in front. If you want some grounding today, let the toes touch down. Otherwise, we're going to come up a little bit. Flex your foot. Inhale. And as we exhale, we're going to bend that standing leg, sit in. We can stay high here. Or if you want more, just gently come on in and let the hands float downwards. Your choice, high or low. Stay with your breath and keep your focus and stay present. Soften your breath. Calm your mind. Inhale and slowly rise. Straightening that standing leg and hands come back down into Tadasana. Beautiful. Let's step your right foot out. We're going to open up into a wide stance. Toes turn inwards. Breathe in. And as we exhale, draw the belly in to support the back and slowly roll yourself forward. If you can, the hands come to the mat. Let them walk in between the legs. Elbows are bent. Keep coming here and letting the head and neck just gently get heavy and lengthen here as we start into a beautiful wide leg forward fold. So as we're opening hips, we're lengthening spine, creating some space between each vertebrae, which allows the synovial fluid to start to flow and help lubricate the spine. Just breathing now and enjoying this beautiful inversion.
Walking the hands out. And let's turn the feet outwards, and we're slowly going to bring ourselves over to the right side. Now the hips can stay high or they can come low. If they come low, you have to flex your foot, and maybe your hands come into your heart center. Just getting that nice stretch in through the hamstring here and groin. Really activate through your liver and kidney meridians. Hands come down. Let's go over to the other side. Same thing. Hips can be high here, or they can come low. If they come low, flexing your foot, hands into center, or keeping your hands down, your choice. Beautiful. Hands come back down. This time we'll come to center. We're going to just walk the feet in a little as the hips start to drop down, and we'll come right into squat. Malasana. Elbows into the knees. The hips are getting heavy as they sink down, so we can lengthen spine. Options here, you can come a little higher. You can sit on a block if you need, or perhaps you come lower and come into a wide leg child's pose. So you decide where you go, depending on how your body's feeling today. This is a nice hip opener with balance. And trying not to tip too far forward here, we want to settle into those hips by lengthening our spine. Now perhaps we can tend our garden, letting the fingertips come to the floor. If that's not good, stay here, all right? Again, a little more balance here, letting the hips get heavy. Nice deep belly breaths. Hands come back into heart center. Anjali Mudra. Beautiful. Let's get the hips high, and we're going to walk ourselves into downward facing dog. We're going to take the right leg and bring it forward to right hand, and we're going to drop the left knee. And again, we can roll our mat, double it up here if you like, or we can bring hands to blocks. If you're able to get a bit lower, if the hips will allow it, perhaps we come onto the hands, or maybe use a block, and which may allow you to come onto your forearms to get some weight out of those wrists. Maybe your hips will allow you to come a little bit deeper, right to the floor. The toes don't have to be straight here. They can turn out a little bit, right? We can open up. That might help open up that hip joint, okay? So it's up to you wherever your foot needs to go. Think of the bones as they spiral down. So everybody's foot placement's going to be a little bit different here, so that's all good. Just finding space that feels good for you. Again, if you have sharp pain, you need to back off the pose a little bit. If you're a little uncomfortable, you're right where you need to be, and just breathe through that. It's not easy to let go when you're uncomfortable. In fact, your body tends to want to hold on. So if you're a little uncomfortable, I want you to breathe even deeper. Just focus on your breath. And that breath perhaps can allow your muscles to relax. So going from that sympathetic nervous system to the parasympathetic, to the calm state. And if you want more here, you can revolve, come to the outside of the foot, let the hand come to the thigh, and look over your right shoulder in gecko. If this is not good for you, just stay where you are. It's about listening to your body and finding your way through your practice. Just breathe and allow. Let's come back to center, up onto the hands. Let the hips slide back. Now take your time, let that foot draw back, and this time, letting your left leg to come forward. And as we come forward, make sure the knee is right over the ankle. That can be very handy. If you want to wrap the mat up here, double it up so that it's soft for the back knee, feel free to go there. Again, blocks can be very useful here, or pillows, whatever you may have handy. Or perhaps you come right down onto the forearms if your hips will allow it. Toes can turn out a little bit here. Just go where it feels good for you. And this is where I'd like you to really focus on the breath to soften. Letting go. Beautiful hip opener. Relax your face, relax your jaw. Perhaps soften those shoulders a little bit here, so you're not carrying everything in your shoulder blades. Let's bring your hand onto your thigh, come to the outside of the foot, revolve and look over shoulder. Gecko pose, or stay where you are if that feels better for you today. Coming back to center, hands onto the mat. Let's bring the hips back, let your leg come back. And we're up onto the hands and knees. I'd like you to take your right leg in front of the left and let your feet come wide. And then sit back into cow face pose. Find those sit bones. If this is too much, let the bottom leg extend out. Okay? If you want to sit up on a block for this one, feel free to do that. It can be easier for you to get the hips a little higher sometimes. So I want you to go where it feels good for you today. I'd like you to take your right arm to the left arm to the right thigh and just sort of twist. All right, so using that elbow as a lever on that thigh and just find a little spinal twist. Still sitting tall here, so finding some space between the vertebrae and then looking over the shoulder. And twisting's very detoxifying for the body. Massaging those organs and bringing new blood into the body and getting rid of waste. Let's come back to center. Breathe in and lengthen. Exhale and just soften forward. Seeing what we can let go of here. Just relaxing the shoulders in your face. Inhale and rise. Lengthen out the bottom leg. Take your elbow across or just wrap your arm over the right leg. Left arm coming across, planting your right hand, again, lifting through the spine and then revolving. Lord of the Fishes, finding those sit bones, and just breathe. And coming back to center, beautiful. Let's come onto your hands and knees.
This time the right knee will come forward, the left leg will come across, feet come wide, and sit into the sit bones. So going in the opposite direction. Outside of the feet, come to the mat. See if you can't get both sit bones down, if you're leaning on one side, I'd like you to just extend out your bottom leg, your right leg, so your sit bones are nice and grounded. Let's take the right arm across and look over your left shoulder. Again, lengthening, pushing into those sit bones, lifting and then twisting. Breathe. Let's come back to center. Breathe in and lengthen. Exhale and soften. Just bowing down and center. Not forcing yourself downwards. Finding your natural edge and staying with the breath and seeing what the body will give you here. Notice where you're holding on. See if you can soften there. Inhale and rise. Let your bottom leg straighten out. Top leg stays bent. This time the right elbow comes across. Sitting tall, lengthen spine. Exhale. Left hand plants and look over left shoulder. Keeping tall here, staying in those sit bones. Lengthening your spine. And slowly come back to center. If you have a strap or a dish towel or whatever you may have, keep that handy here. We're going to roll ourselves back. Let's take our right leg up and let the strapping come around the ball of the right foot, and take your right hand and grab that strapping so you've got some good tension there. Let the left hand come out to the side with the palm facing up. Breathe in. And as we breathe out, let that leg float over to the right side. So as we're here, try not to roll over on the side. Try to keep both sit bones down. Keep your foot flexed so you're still opening up through the hamstring and calves. Feel that beautiful stretch to the inner thighs and groin area here. So the left leg can be bent or it can be straight, whatever works for you. And the arm out to the side can help with your balance. So you can allow that leg to get a little heavier to keep both sit bones down. Breathe and allow here. Inhale and come back to center. Let's switch hands so the strapping comes in your left hand. The left leg now comes straight out. Right hand comes out to the side with the palm facing up. And now the leg comes across the diagonal over to the left side. So you're getting that nice stretch now through the outside of the leg, through that IT band. Keep your foot flexed here. Push through that heel. And trying to keep
your sit bones down so you're not rolling onto your left hip here. So just go when you start to feel that beautiful stretch to the outside of the leg. Just stay and breathe there. Enjoy that stretch. Tends to get really tight through that IT band, so just trying to open things up a little bit here. Coming back to center, bend your knee, and let's switch to the other side. So this time the left foot comes up, strap or towel comes around that left foot, the ball of the foot, and take your left hand and get some nice tension there. Push through your heel, lengthen out your leg so your hip or your femur bone is coming up out of the socket a little bit here, creating that space. Breathe in. As we breathe out, let it float out to the side and let your right knee come to right side, hand out to the side. And just see where your leg is going to go. It can be high or low, it doesn't matter as long as you're feeling this stretch. Breathe. Where can you soften? Inhale, come back to center. Now we're going to straighten out that right leg. Right hand grabs the strap. Left hand comes out to the side and let just come across that diagonal over to the right side. Trying to keep your sit bones down so you're not rolling on the right. Breathe. Still flex that foot. Get that stretch in the back of the leg, those hamstrings and calves. Beautiful. Let's come back to center. Remove your strapping and let's come right into happy baby pose. Bend your knees, let the legs come wide. Flex your feet. Hands can come to the shins or maybe they come to the bottoms of the feet. If this isn't accessible for you today, maybe you just take your strapping around the balls of the feet, knees bend, and you can use the strapping to get that opening through your hips. All right, so that's another option for you. Now, once you're in your position, I'd like you to draw the shoulders down away from the ears, and let's start to draw the tailbone downwards. Start to lengthen out that spine. And if the back feels good today, maybe a gentle rock side to side, a little massage for your back. And coming back to center. Release the hands and bend your legs and let them float down. So we come right into Shavasana. Feet extend out, hands at the side with the palms facing up. Option here, bend your knees, bring your feet apart, draw the knees together. Or you can lie on your side, let your head just relax on your arm with the knees bent and just relaxing on the side. I want you to go to a space that feels good for you today and just stay there and find your breath. This is for you. This is your time to let go. And as we breathe, I want you to notice where your breath is coming and going. Perhaps notice the breath under the nostrils, between the nostrils and the lips as it comes in and out. Or perhaps notice your belly, your navel rise with the breath in and fall when the breath goes out. Some ways of keeping your focus inwards, ways of staying present with your breath. And as we start to breathe here, just starting to let the shoulders melt down away from the ears, letting those hips get heavy, relaxing knees and ankles, fingers and toes.
I'd like you to take a mental scan from the crown of your head down to your toes and all the way back up to the crown of the head, and notice if there's any stiffness or soreness or even a little bit of tightness somewhere. And if there is, I'd like you to bring all your attention with your breath to that area of the body to see if you can find some release. Where your attention goes, prana flows, life force, energy, very powerful to send messages to the body that it's okay to let go. If you're enjoying your meditation and your body needs a little more nourishment today, please stay and breathe and enjoy your space. Otherwise, start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Bend your knees and bring one leg in, followed by the other. And let your arms wrap around the legs. Give yourself a nice big hug. And nice gentle rock side to side, forwards and backwards. A little massage for your spine. And when you're ready, just gently make your way up to a seated position. Hands come into your heart space and just thumbs to your sternum. Thank you, MOVATI, for joining me today and sharing this journey. I wish you good health, love, and peace on your day. Just bowing your head in gratitude for your practice today. Peace be with you. Namaste.